Hello and welcome to the Wedding Files. I'm Tracy and I'm here to help you navigate through the mysteries of planning your wedding. So you just got engaged and in all that excitement, it just hits you. You are getting married and you have no idea where to start. Okay, take a deep breath because we're going to get serious. This two-part episode is going to be about the conversation you and your fiance need to have before you get started planning or answering any of your friends and family's questions. So get comfortable because we're going to have the talk. Before we get started, let's set the mood. Plan a night with your partner where you have a few hours you can totally devote to each other without any interruptions. Turn off the TV, put some nice music on, turn off your phones or at least put them away. Maybe do this during dinner or just after where you won't be hungry and distracted. Then grab a few sheets of paper, some pens and pencils, different colored highlighters, because it's time to figure out what kind of wedding you want to have. There's a lot of information you need to know from the beginning so you won't be shocked or frustrated as you plan. I'm going to give you a list of 12 questions that you and your partner need to ask each other. Write them down, and this will make up your rough draft that will take you through the whole wedding planning process. Today, we are going to talk about the first 6 questions. Question 1. What is our guest count? This is one of the hardest and most time-consuming tasks, but it's necessary to have it ready before you meet anyone. This list will be your food count, the number that all your vendors will ask you, and the basis of your style and size of wedding. Wedding Wire and The Knot are great resources, but it's fairly easy to put together a list on your own. Remember that this list is the very first rough draft and will change over time. And once you have it all down, you can put it in Excel or Wedding Wire or The Knot, whatever works for you. When you put the list together, try to stay consistent. Last name first, Pruitt. Then first name of the adults in the family, John and Cindy. Then 2 kids. Then write what group, immediate family. This will help when we talk about the seating chart in future episodes. So it's easiest to start with the immediate family, your parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters and their families. Then add extended family, cousins, aunts, uncles and their families. Then add friend groups. Start with best friends, then move to coworkers or schoolmates, then other groups such as your softball team or drama club or church group. It's best to start with a whole family, so include the children, and if you have any singles, always add a +1. Now that you have the entire list, how many people? Maybe your list is only 50 people, or maybe it's 250 people. This list will be able to tell you much more information than just a number. Question 2, big wedding or intimate wedding? Now that you have your guest count, 50 people will tell you that you're having an intimate wedding. 250 people says a big wedding. But what do you want? If you want an intimate wedding when you have 250 people, it's time to break out the highlighters and highlight those on the list that are must-invites. And remember that the bigger the count, the more expensive it will be. But having a good idea of what size of a wedding you want, then choosing the guests that must be invited, will give you the number that you can tell the vendors when you meet them. And if your parents are paying, it will give them the idea of the cost as well. Question 3, who will be in the bridal party? Deciding this can be a sensitive subject. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but you want to pick people that will be there to help you. Now, in all reality, you can choose to have no wedding party or 20 people on each side. You can choose to have men and women on opposite sides, like a man of honor or best maid. You can have flower girls, ring bearers, junior bridesmaids, even the family dog. There is no rule that says what you have to have, so it's totally up to the two of you. If you choose not to have anyone, remember that you'll need someone to hold the rings and the bouquet to make sure you both have free hands during the ceremony. The dress might need to be adjusted as well, so have someone sit on the front row that is able to stand up and help when you need it and can sit back down when you don't. If you choose a wedding party, again, try to make sure that these people can be there to help you. Like I said in a previous episode, ask for help and give out jobs to your wedding party. Don't feel like you have to ask all your closest friends and family so no one feels left out. If you have a bridesmaid with a busy schedule and it's hard for her to do anything, maybe the nicer thing to do is just to let her be a guest. Also, the size of your guest count can tell you how many people as well. If you're having an intimate wedding of 50 people, then go with a small wedding party. Larger weddings can have small or large wedding parties, but try to keep the number to no more than maybe 6 people per side. Think of how they are walking down the aisle and how much time it takes up when you have a ton of people. You don't want the processional to be longer than the actual ceremony. And sometimes you only have so much space at the altar for everyone. Now, if you have someone you want in the wedding party that lives out of town, make sure they are aware of when the activities are happening, but don't expect them to be there. If your MOH or best man is out of town, then offer to them another person that can help them because they are in town. Right now, though, choose the adults and pencil in possible children if you want them in the wedding party. Question 4. What's the date? When picking a date, remember that the most expensive day of the week is Saturday because that's when most people are getting married. Friday night weddings, remember that your family and friends may be working, and by the time they get home and get the family ready, they may be late. Sunday weddings tend to end early because most people need to get to work the next day. But Fridays and Sundays are usually less expensive than Saturdays, and Monday to Thursday are usually the least expensive. Depending on what region of the country you live in, one season may be more expensive than the other. For example, in Texas, October is one of the most expensive months because it's the start of fall, which is when the weather finally starts cooling down. Also, take into account holidays. If you want a Christmas wedding, remember that you are asking your friends and family to make their holiday plans around your wedding. Some people might not be able to make it. And vendor prices might be more expensive at the holidays because staff might not be available unless paid a higher wage, or they might be closed. Question 5. What time? When you schedule your wedding with a vendor, they will ask you what time. This time is the start of the ceremony, then all the activities and reception will follow. Sometimes venues will give you a couple of extra hours before the start of your ceremony to get ready, but that's in addition to your booked time frame. Usually, most weddings are 30 minutes for the ceremony, 45 minutes between the ceremony and reception, and 4 hours for the reception. So plan on 4 to 6 hour total. Just like Saturday is usually more expensive than Friday, Saturday night is usually more expensive than Saturday morning. Again, Saturday night is when most people are getting married. Most often, a ceremony starts around 5 with reception to follow at 6. That gives your guests a normal dinner time of around 6:30 or 7. Starting the ceremony at 7 leads to a late night and tends to be preferred with those wanting a cocktail reception with desserts or late night food trucks. Morning weddings can lead to brunch-style receptions, and noon or 1 ceremony start times can lead to lunch receptions, which is great for a casual barbecue cookout. Question 6. What is our style? This is like, how dressed up do you want to be? Do you want a black tie, super elegant event, or do you want totally casual backyard get-together? What do you feel comfortable in? Your style is everything from what you and your partner will be wearing, your location, your decor, and what you expect your guests to wear. Most super elegant weddings have alcohol, happen at night, and don't include children. If you want more of the casual backyard, then maybe the location is a family's huge backyard and maybe a friend does the catering of barbecue for lunch or an early dinner. Most of the weddings I've been a part of have been somewhere in the middle. An elegant barn or historic house with a buffet, lots of flowers, alcohol, and a party feel, but children are there. The guests are dressed more business casual, and it's more of a standard dinner time. Once you've decided your style, then you can start looking at vendors and venues that fit and eliminate those that don't. If you want a casual feel, then an upscale hotel isn't right for you. If you want an elegant adult party, then maybe the open-air barn isn't quite right either. Most vendors will ask you what your vision is, and your style is the words used to describe it. Thank you for watching the first 6 questions you need to answer. Take some time to work on those and join me again for the next set of 6 in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and feel free to share and give me the thumbs up. See you soon, and remember, I've got your back.